Hello, welcome to Production Diary for day 123. For the last 2 or 3 months, something's been going on behind the scenes that's sort of exciting, and today is the day that Universal have allowed us to talk about it for the first time. So very soon after our Christmas break, Universal started to talk to Fran, Philippa and myself about the idea of a possible sequel to King Kong. And based on that, we've now solidified our plans for what would be effectively the Son of Kong.
Yeah, this is just tremendously exciting for us, Universal. We had some production money stashed away for the second Chronicle of Riddick, but we're not producing that particular picture. So, happily, we had a significant budget, and we're going to make Son of Kong with it immediately.
Because the screenplay is reasonably long and pretty rich, Universal have agreed that we're basically going to split it into 2 movies and shoot them back to back.
One of the things Universal is best at, renowned for, is the franchise business. So it's just a phenomenal opportunity for us.
It was a little tricky getting the main cast back because, as you can imagine, with Adrian, Naomi and Jack, they had already been making plans.
It's a relief for me that it's finally out of the bag because it was top secret for so long I couldn't even tell my family or anything about what was going on.
If anyone has been paying attention, we've sort of been dropping little clues. I'm really excited because, I've never been in a sort of a sequel before. I've never been in like a franchise thing.
It's quite a great experience for me and my character because she discovers when she hears that back in the jungle Son of Kong is still alive. She, a la kind of Sigourney Weaver, Gorillas in the Mist, runs back to the jungle because she wants to be there and nurture him because she owes that to King Kong himself.
It takes place like 10 years after the first one, so it's right in the middle of World War II.
Denham returns to Skull Island, except Denham now is involved with the US government's war effort. And so it's a great opportunity to return to Skull Island, but then the story actually ultimately climaxes in Europe.
It's weird, we go to Germany with Son of Kong and he helps us defeat Hitler.
Rather than just have Son of Kong fighting, more dinosaurs on Skull Island, he is going to be able to combat some genetically mutated creatures that the Nazis are building. And so, as you can imagine, Weta are now, gearing up to basically do the conceptual art.
So in total parallel with all the work that we've been doing on Kong, the likes of Rob and the other sculptors have simultaneously been sculpting these characters, like the 17-foot-tall albino that we see standing here.
And we're very lucky to have Andy Serkis coming back too to play Son of Kong.
I just had this idea for Son of Kong, and it sounded ridiculous at the time, but, Pete's up for anything. I said, can we do some motion capture using my son Louis? Because Louis's now 9 months, he's 9 months old, and it's exactly the same as an infant gorilla. So, in fact, next week, we're going to be doing the first motion capture on a child. Well, he's not even a child, he's a baby.
The previous team started with some very simple ideas of just how Son of Kong would walk and run.
There's one scene where I'm kind of like riding on his back, me and Adrian and Naomi.
So in Son of Kong, there's quite a lot of comedy sequences and fun stuff, but there's also a couple of really good action sequences.
So one of the things we're going to have to do is on the shoulders of the gorilla, we want to mount a couple of Browning machine guns.
And we're now just starting to do some of the more major sequences, particularly a very involved sequence involving Russian T-34 tanks and Kong just outside the Führer bunkers. So this is actually our very first set that we've designed for the sequels, for Kong 2 and 3. It's actually it's a Bavarian chalet where Denham is going to have his headquarters when he's behind the lines in World War II. We'll probably have to go on location to Europe later on in the year, about 3 weeks of location work, where we'll need to just gather those, the castles and the towns and the wide shots that will establish the European feel, which we don't have that sort of stuff here in New Zealand.
One of the hardest parts of doing it is actually prepping for the stuff we're going to be shooting in Europe later on. Sort of trying to get together studio space, get gear ready to go over, get our lighting continuity packages sorted out.
It'd just be nice to be somewhere else that's just a little different. It'd be nice to get away from the blue screens just a bit more.
Of course, it's made these final weeks of shooting the first movie rather complicated because we basically have very little pre-production time. So my day on set these days is basically shooting scenes with Naomi for the first film, and at the same time I'm just having impromptu meetings all over the place to try to organise what needs to be organised for films 2 and 3.
Simon, if we could just make sure these trees are kept secure for 2 or 3 months, and we'll look forward to getting back in the jungle here later on this year.
So it's going to be a busy year for us, and you'll be able to follow it all here on The Kong is King.